Coach. Well, just what's it like to be here, and what's going to be your message to these fans, are so hungry to get this program winning?
Yeah, well, I would tell you the biggest message is we're here to work, get this thing right for everybody. It's been almost 3 months now, and for the last couple of weeks we've actually gotten to coach our kids, which has been the most exciting part. But that's been the message the whole time. We're going to come in and work as hard as anybody ever has to get this thing right. And I would tell you 2.5 months in, we're well on our way.
With Dallas Walker coming back, do you have any other guys going through that process to get another year of eligibility?
You know what? We've got one we're still waiting on. That one was really big, though. It was kind of one of those cherries on top that you didn't know. You really were planning, and the way we recruited through the portal, we were recruiting as if we didn't have it. But that was a neat phone call. That was pretty cool. And he's a neat kid. Kid trending towards young man, and he's as giddy as anybody to be able to be back with the team and go.
Throughout the last few weeks of the workouts and, like I said, being able to coach the players, what stood out to you most about this group?
I would tell you the biggest thing that stood out is the energy these guys have. I think as much as the coaches are excited to actually start working with these guys, they've been really intentional. I think, this is my 6th time being part of a new staff, 2nd time as the head coach, and each team kind of has their own identity a little bit, and each team handles change differently. I think when there's underlying apparent need for change, it's a little bit easier because you can come in and lay a foundation, and guys are generally willing to listen. This group has been awesome. They've listened, I don't want to say fall in line because they've asked why to certain things, but all of them have been reasonable with asking the whys, and we've been really intentional about giving the whys, but there's a lot of changes, and they've been really, really intentional with wanting to change.
Coach, when you talk to fans, what do you hear from them, and what are those conversations like when they express, their views on the program and what they kind of want to see?
Yeah, well, it depends. The fans, social media fans, or in person. In person, the interaction's been at basketball games, at baseball games. The interaction's been incredible. Everybody always said, and I've said this a couple of times, but everybody's always said, man, Auburn's different, Auburn's different, Auburn's different, and you kind of assume everybody says that about their alma mater. You get here, and from the night I got introduced at the basketball game against NC State to Friday night at the baseball game, there's this incredible energy and positive energy around our fan base, around every one of these programs. Everybody says the same thing, man, coach. Want to win, want to win, want to win. And I think the other resounding message is we want to win that last game of the year. And I would tell you both things are in the forefront of all of our minds, and we've gone to work, and I continue to explain that there's a process to it. We're in phase 1 of this off season. I would tell you probably the most important part of the off season, which is right now, and be patient, let's rock and roll.
With the defensive staff, why was it so important for you to, hire 2 more guys who have defensive coordinator experience in this conference?
Yeah, invaluable. I think this league is an animal in itself. The level of player, the level of coaching, and that's the on the field, that's the recruiting. I think until you've been in it and lived it and gone to battles head-to-head in recruiting and played in these games, coached in these games on Saturdays, it's hard to wrap your mind around. Football's football. This is the elite of the elite. And so to get 2 more guys in that room, both guys that I'm not just excited to have, but Tim Banks I've been with, this is our 3rd time together. Coleman Hutzler I've coached against for years. I can tell you the biggest compliment you can get is when you coach against somebody, DJ Durkin in that same breath, when you coach against somebody, you see their true DNA as a coach. And to get guys that have lived it, been in this league, and had success at a high level in this league is priceless, especially coming in and taking over what we took over in terms of having to revamp it from the beginning. Guys that you can bounce things off of, guys that have experienced it besides myself, is priceless.
All right, thank you, Coach.